But the big story, of course, that we are tracking here is the big victory in the World Cup quarterfinals over Bangladesh. India has scored an easy victory, sparking off celebrations in different parts of India, reaffirming the belief that India can win the cup again, can retain the World Cup. India has not lost a single match, and their bowlers once again showed the way, bowling out Bangladesh. This is the 7th consecutive win for India in this World Cup. Chasing a mammoth 303, Bangladesh never looked in control and succumbed under the attack of Shami, Umesh Yadav and Ravindra Jadeja. Shami overtaking Stark as the leading wicket taker of this tournament with a 2-wicket haul. Debutants Bangladesh being bowled out for just 193. Rohit Sharma, man of the match for his brilliant 100. Okay, let's look at the celebration. Remember, Mumbai is Rohit Sharma's city, and correspondent Rashesh has been there. Let's find out how Rashesh is there outside the house of Rohit Sharma.
Yes, the people in Mumbai, much like the rest of the country, have been cheering the team on, and they are obviously excited about this result. India reaching the semi-finals, but one reason they are even more excited is because the Mumbai boy Rohit Sharma has come to the party. You've been cheering the team all day long. What a knock from Rohit, isn't it?
Well, definitely that was an amazing knock by our Mumbai lad Rohit Sharma. And one thing, we do not call him Rohit Sharma. He is our hitman, isn't it, guys? Rohit Sharma, Mumbai!
Sharma the hitman, and this was the game which mattered, and he's come to the party, isn't it? Knockout match. India hasn't gone out of the World Cup. They've reached the semi-finals, in fact.
Exactly. And Rohit Sharma has been the one जिसने कैप्टनसी संभाली थी मुंबई की जब मुंबई को बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत थी, और वही था जिसने IPL भी जिताया, CL T20 भी जिताया, और अब वही होने वाला है जो हमें वर्ल्ड कप भी जिताएगा.
अच्छा, चलो अब सेमीफाइनल्स में पहुंच गए. India is in the semi-finals. Who is your preferred opponent? Australia or Pakistan?
I want Australia.
Yeah. Let's do a test of how each of how you think. What do you think?
I think I want Pakistan.
You want Pakistan?
Yeah, India-Pakistan once again.
Just for the sake of India-Pakistan match, you want Pakistan to reach the semi.
India-Pakistan.
India-Pakistan.
Australia.
Australia.
Yes. India-Pakistan.
India-Pakistan.
India-Pakistan. So
Actually,
it's 3 for India, 3 Pakistan and 3 for Australia. But you're saying Australia, why? You think India would prefer Australia? It would be the easier opponent to beat to reach the final?
No, not at all. Australia is definitely not going to be an easy opponent. बात तो ये है कि पाकिस्तान हमारे लिए बहुत ज़्यादा इजी है, क्योंकि वर्ल्ड कप में तो वो हमसे कभी जीतते ही नहीं. तो एक और बार हम उन्हें इजीली हरा दें और फिर फाइनल में पहुंचे तो वो उतना खैर मज़ा नहीं आएगा. इसलिए मौका हम उन्हें बहुत बार दे चुके और आगे भी देते रहेंगे, कोई बात नहीं. वो अगले वर्ल्ड कप की बात अगले वर्ल्ड कप में. इस बार हमने पहले उन्हें एक बार मौका दिया, अगली बार फिर से अगर हम देंगे तो वो वापस सेमीफाइनल में भी हार ही जाएंगे. इसलिए सो वी वांट ऑस्ट्रेलिया दैट इंडिया शुड फेस इन द सेमीज.
चलिए, क्या बात है. There's never dearth of people who want to neither Pakistan, but yes, I think a lot of people think India-Australia is the preferred semi-finals. Some others think India-Pakistan would be the match of their lives. Again, a repeat of the semi-finals we saw in 2011. But people, in a sense, overall excited. You guys can make some noise. India has reached the semi-finals, isn't it? All right. So this cheering will continue through the World Cup, and it's because of these fans that has helped Dhoni and his team get towards the knockout rounds, the semi-finals of this World Cup. Back to you.
Rashesh there from Mumbai. Now the mood in Dhaka on the other hand is very different, despondent. Bangladesh are out of the World Cup. Our correspondent Manogia is there, and she catches a slice of the mood on the streets of Dhaka after their country's defeat.
As the Bangladeshi Tigers fought it out with the men in blue in Australia, it was the men in blue who took away the cup for the quarterfinals. But for Bangladesh, of course, it has been a lesson to learn. Let's talk to a few people on what do they think about the performance today, and of course, a lot of questions being raised about the umpiring too. Are you satisfied with the game that was played today?
That's not satisfying because of today's umpiring was so poor, and our team is well done, well played. But umpiring is not fair.
Umpiring not fair, but do you feel that on the part of Bangladesh, the way they have performed so well till now, being defeated with India this time, it was not a repeat of 2007?
We are proud because our player very good playing. It is great achievement because our team playing quarter final. So I think next time our cricket team won World Cup.
I want to put my point forward. Rabindranath Tagore had written the national anthem for India and Bangladesh, and these are the only two countries in the world which sang the same national anthem written by the same person in the field today. It was a game, it was a war on the field, but a game at the end of the day. Whoever wins is always the best team. After all, it's Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar. With camera person Tapas Berry, this is Manogya Loiwal in Dhaka for Headlines Today.
Okay, so Manogya there giving us a reminder once again. The anthems composed by the same individual, Depression in Dhaka. But take a look at what's happening in Ranchi. Rohit is there in Ranchi, the hometown of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Rohit, take it away. Celebrations already once again in Ranchi.
India have registered a great win against Bangladesh in the quarterfinals, and massive celebrations have begun at Mahendra Singh Dhoni's town, Ranchi. This is the visuals which we are getting at Ranchi. Dhol, Nagaras, and we are seeing Indian flags that are flying all the way, and India are now through to the semi-finals. And this is what Ranchi was wanting. Though Mahendra Singh Dhoni did not perform well today, he did not get enough opportunity, but there are celebrations that is going on in the city. Let's talk to some of the people here. अब सेमीफाइनल में पहुंच गए हैं भारत।
जी नहीं, हम लोगों को खुशी इस बात की है कि पूरी टीम अच्छा खेल रही है और घर में फिर से वापस हमारे घर में वर्ल्ड कप आ रहा है, इस बात की खुशी है हमें।
तो आपको लगता है कि अब वर्ल्ड कप बहुत दूर नहीं है?
बहुत जल्दी इंडिया लाएगी वर्ल्ड कप, हर हाल में इंडिया जीतेगी वर्ल्ड कप।
कितना खुश है कि रांची वाले कितना खुश है?
बहुत खुश है, खुशी का इजहार नहीं कर पाएंगे।
और धोनी की कितनी बड़ी रोल था इसमें?
बहुत बड़ी।
Well, so we can see that the city has started its celebration, and this party will go long into the night. And now India are just 2 steps away from another World Cup title, and that is why the city of the captain, the city of Mahi, is celebrating. With camera person Deepak Kumar, this is Rohit saying in Ranchi for Headlines Today.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Andrew this. You see these celebrations. You're now an honorary Indian. You played for the Deccan Chargers. You played for the Mumbai Indians. How do you celebrate in Australia when you win a tournament? Nobody plays the drums like this, surely. What do you do?
Well, I mean, the Indian people get so excited when they win. India haven't won anything yet, and I think that's probably why the Indians go from such highs to such lows. The expectation is huge on them, and the pressure from the Indian people.
Australia, how do you celebrate in Australia? When you win a big tournament, when you won the 2007 World Cup, when you won the 2003 World Cup, is it simply having lots of beer, or is there something more?
Pretty much. We drank lots of beer.
Do you remember how much beer you drank when you won the World Cup?
No, I don't. We celebrated for about 3 days.
You celebrate for 3 days with alcohol?
Non-stop.
3 days alcohol non-stop. Nikhil?
Well, at least here you can say that plenty of fireworks in different parts of the country. I mean, I'm sure,
Are we celebrating prematurely? My worry at the moment is that with every match that we win, we're getting excited almost like it's the final. We've only beaten Bangladesh, for God's sake.
Well, I guess the way we've played cricket, don't forget, Rajdeep, the way, we played the test matches, then the tri-series, then the 7 victories on the trot. Every victory is getting celebrated. And I'm sure a lot of guys who go back to the hotels, if they've got the Indian channels, they'll switch it on. They feel happy. At the end of the day, they also feel happy that our victories are getting celebrated all over the country. They don't take it as an additional pressure that we need to go out there and win everything. They are going about their jobs in whatever manner they have to go out there, and the process and the execution of their plans. But this is not putting pressure. This is saying that the entire country, 1 billion people looking to celebrate every victory, is their strength and not their weakness.
Okay, that's one way of looking at it. But the other way of looking at it is, are we celebrating prematurely? Remember, the big match could well be that semi-final, possibly against Australia. Who knows? It could be Pakistan once again. To ask Andrew and Nikhil here in the studio, looking ahead, Nikhil, what is it that we need to do? Is there anything more that this team can really now do to take on either Australia or Pakistan? Likely to be Australia. Did you see any weakness in this Indian team today?
Well, there's always room for improvement. The way Shikhar Dhawan, Rajdeep got out today after getting those 25-30 runs, when you're playing a top quality side like Australia, and I'm thinking going ahead of myself that obviously they'll beat Pakistan, you cannot allow the Australians a foot in the door. You give them an inch and they'll very easily take a mile. When you're batting on 30, you play a loose stroke, you get out, somebody else walks in, there's a good delivery by either Mitchell Johnson or Faulkner. All of a sudden, for not too many, you're 2 wickets down, and then the Australians are going to come really hard at you. When you go looking to put pressure against Australia, you stick by it. Otherwise, they'll come back and hurt you.
Your sense, Andrew, are the Australians worried about Team India? I mean, as you said, if they beat Pakistan and play India, is there going to be a fear factor, or will the fact that we've defeated the Indians so often in the tri-series actually work to Australia's advantage?
Oh, look, mate, I think today Australia would have watched India play, but their focus will be on beating Pakistan. You know, Pakistan are one of these really hot and cold sides. If you strike them on a good day, they can be very difficult to beat. So they'll have had all their, you know, energy and training, everything would have been going towards beating Pakistan in preparation for that game. But bearing in mind, the coaching staff will be starting to prepare and think about how they're going to attack India as well. But as a player, they'll be worrying about Pakistan.
Pakistan, of course, would be a delightful prospect for Team India, because then we avoid Australia and we can reach the finals without having to play either Australia or South Africa or New Zealand in the knockouts.
Yeah, well then, Rajiv, semi-final game is a semi-final game. You know, I'm sure Pakistan's not going to be looking to make the same sort of mistakes like they did earlier. But to be honest, I don't think Pakistan is that good a side in comparison to the Australian side. If you look at their batting lineup, barring a couple of names, maybe 2 or 3 that you can count on the fingertips, who can win you games from a batting prospect for the Pakistanis. But if you look at the Australian side, man to man, they'll beat the Pakistani side any day of the week.
Okay, so I'm going to put both you gentlemen on the line. Starting with you, Andrew, who's winning the World Cup? Come on. As of today, you can change your mind in a week's time.
Okay, well, I'll say Australia will win it.
And that's not just your heart saying it. You think?
No, that's not just my heart, because I think Australia will beat Pakistan, and then if they beat India, well, we just eat South Africa for breakfast in finals.
I mean, it could be New Zealand. We'll eat South Africa. You know, who's your tip?
The side that wins the game, the semi-final, India-Australia, will go out there and lift the trophy.
Okay. So therefore, effectively, it means India's got one more big match left. we're almost discounting the final there. Andrew and Nikhil more or less agreed that semi-final in Sydney could well be the clincher as to who wins this World Cup. Gentlemen, been a pleasure having you here. Another great day for Indian cricket. We've only defeated Bangladesh at the end of the day. Just remember that. The big one is coming up, 26th of March. So that's really going to be where all the action is. Sydney is where it could well be the winner of this match, Australia versus Pakistan. Adelaide, 20th of March, tomorrow 9 a.m. Team India can have a rest day. Pakistan has to climb a mountain to defeat Australia. For now, it's a day to celebrate, a day to rejoice. If you've been watching, thanks for watching. Good night. Goodbye.